Yeah. There we go. To light it up. See how everything looking here. Let me go live on IG real quick too. This what we doing. Always got to get on here and make sure everything is working right. So what's up, y'all? Welcome to another Sync Hustle Mindset live stream. I'm the producer Whisper, and I hope everybody had a nice, safe New Year's. Happy New Year! It's 2024, so we're gonna get into some ways that we can make this a really, really beneficial, profitable, forward moving 2024. It's all about that hustle and that mindset, man. So we're gonna talk about that a lot today. Um, so yeah, me personally, I didn't do too much for New Year's. Like, I've been around for a while, man. So we've done all the fancy parties. I've done, went out and Vegas a bunch of times for New Year's and that kind of thing or whatever. So I don't know, you get older, you start thinking about like your safety and stuff like that. Like, you start having thoughts like, man, it's not as safe as I guess, when you're younger, you just don't think about it as much. And so, what's up? So I am. How you doing, man? Happy Friday. I'm actually on the YouTube channel right now. So if hold on, let me put a comment in here. YouTube. Now, can I pin that? Yes, I can pin that. All right. So what's up, y'all? Come over to the YouTube channel, man. That's where we are. So again, yeah, I hope everybody had a great New Year's. Like I was saying, we don't really go out too much for New Year's. If it's like a private thing or whatever, like, we're down to go out and have some fun. It's not like we're old fuddy duddies or anything like that, but it's the coming home afterwards. Like it has to be a planned situation where like we got a hotel or something, and we can stay where where we do the New Year's thing at. Um, because like going somewhere and partying and then driving home at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, this might be the old man talking, but it's dangerous as hell. And I'm right too, because like I was looking at the news, New Year's morning, and sure enough, there was a bunch of drunk driver stuff out there. So um, I don't get down like that. What's up, David Massey? How you doing, man? Welcome to the live. What's up, Montana? Tone Montana? Come over to the YouTube channel. Look at the pinned comment. That's where we are. We're kicking it on YouTube today, y'all. YouTube. Mr. Robinson, come over to the YouTube channel, man. Let me wave at y'all. We're building up today, man. How's everybody doing? What's up, David Massey? Happy New Year. Out of Reach Productions up in here. I'm assuming everybody had a nice, safe New Year's. No, you know, no negativity. Everybody's good. Top of the morning, man. You're right, it's dangerous. We gotta stay prayed up, authority them, antennas up. Exactly, man. You gotta. What's up, G5 Productions, man? Happy Friday to you. Happy New Year and happy Friday. Okay, nobody on the Instagram now, so I'm about to hop off so I can give you guys my full attention. It's gonna be a good one, man. About to chop up some real game today. For real, for real. Happy New Year, everybody. KJ Rose, what's up, brother? How you doing? Everybody good? I see everybody back. I'm not trying to be a Grinch or nothing. You guys let's do a quick little poll real quick to see who's with me and or whatever. So give me a one in the comments for everybody that really, really looks forward to the holidays and gets that warm, like that holiday feeling that they talk about, or put a two in the comments if you're one of those people that are kind of waiting, that kind of wait for the holidays to be over with. You kind of just deal with them. You may not be all grinched out or whatever about it, but you just be like, it's the holidays again. Let's just get through, get through New Year's. Yeah, V Drizzle says two. Come on, y'all. There's a few of y'all in here. One or two. One, you love the holidays. Two, you don't be looking forward to it. One and two. I guess I could kind of say that too. There's a part of me like I don't get the 1.5. Yeah, I feel you. I don't get the kind of warm, fuzzy feeling like, oh my God, it's Christmas like a kid would so much as I used to. Um, yeah, I'd be leaning more towards the like, let's just get it over with or whatever. You know. It used to be because back in the day, because I was broke. You hate the holidays when you don't got no money to get people stuff. You don't even be looking to get stuff yourself. You just be wanting to be Santa Claus and hook people up. And the the holidays really puts a magnifying glass on your finances. So, but we threw them. No, I digress. I'm not about to sit here and talk about the holidays all live or whatever. We got through them. I'm glad everybody's here. Uh, when New Year's came, I was like, okay, yeah, it's New Year's. I don't make resolutions, but um, I'm not gonna lie and not say that New Year's does feel like, you know, uh, a new beginning, like I won't say rejuvenation because if you're already hustling, you're not gonna feel rejuvenated. You're gonna just keep doing what you're doing or whatever. But the beginning of the year signifies a bunch of stuff, especially in business, sync especially as well, because everything operates like by quarters. We get paid quarterly, through the PROs. A lot of stuff is quarterly as far as television, fall season, uh the new fall shows coming in, March Madness, that's first quarter, Nielsen ratings, so on and so forth or whatever. So um looking forward to this first quarter. I do. I'm like, okay, I can't wait till first quarter comes because at the end of the year, a lot of people are trying to wrap up. If they owe you money, they're paying the money out. They're getting ready, getting rid of old budgets, getting ready for new budgets. So that's what the beginning of the year kind of represents to me. It's like, okay, new budgets, new opportunities, new chances to network and gain and grow and learn and all that good stuff or whatever. I kind of see it like that, not as an opportunity to say, you know what, 2024 is the year I'm going to be doing some stuff I wasn't doing in 2023. Like 2024, man, I'm going to get on it. I'm going to start something or whatever. That never works because in most cases, if you want to start something, you're going to start right now. It's not going to take the beginning of the year and this and that. That's why gyms make so much money at the beginning of the year because people be like, you know what, I'm gonna get off my fat butt and go work out, and then they never stick to it or whatever. Um, so this, and I might sound like I'm off the rails right now, but really, what I'm talking about right now is going to tie into this game we talking about later on after we get through the wins, the weekly wins. Yeah, I ain't forgot about the weekly wins. We got to start off with that, with those. Looking forward to hearing who made some forward steps this week, since last Friday. So let me look at the comments real quick before we get into that, though. Looking forward to good time with the family, to be ready to enjoy some vacation time. Yeah, that's one good thing about the holidays. If you're fortunate, you do get some time off work. Generally, one, not specifically warm and fuzzy feeling. Yeah, I got you. Happy Friday. What's up, Segura? What's up, brother? Nice to see you. Happy New Year. But after learning it's pagan holidays, it's different mindset. Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, LV. That these I could tell, brother, like we could get into like way, way deeper conversations about life in general and things and like the veils, you know, that's been pulled over us in a lot of ways. And I get all that or whatever. But I mean, all the holidays, that we celebrate, um, we might not be celebrating them based on the origins of those holidays as we know them, like the way they teach us Thanksgiving is, and the way they teach us Christmas. We know that, Thanksgiving didn't start that way, and we know uh, uh, how Christmas started. If you don't, Google it a little bit. Like it's very easy to find out or whatever. But most people just don't have that kind of, they don't think of those things. They just look at it in the terms of like, okay, I get to be off work, I get to spend time with my family. The kids do something for the kids or whatever. And I know like it's all in the name of something, that might not have started with the good and best intentions, but like we do a lot of stuff that, you know, started off with bad intentions and then we still do it. I mean, for God's sakes, black folks still use the N-word. And that started off with the worst intentions, and we could get into a conversation about that. We're not going to do it today, but I'm just saying, we could, you can't really trip on, oh, it used to be a pagan holiday and this and that or whatever, like, because when you start talking about the N-word, black folks is like, oh, we made it what we adapted it, we made it what it is, today, it's ours now. Doesn't mean that now, it's a term of endearment, it's this, that, for whatever reason that we conjure up in our own minds to justify using the word. That's what we do. So you can't really say, oh, it's a pagan holiday, because people do the same thing. They justify, they forget the origins. It's right now. Right now, it feels good to celebrate it for whatever reason. So that's why, people do it that way, or whatever. So I digress. I ain't trying to waste everybody's time. Like we get real deep on some other stuff, but we're here to talk about sync, hustle, mindset. But I appreciate you, LV Drizzle, man, because I could tell you're a deep thinker. And you know, I don't get into those kind of topics though. Start talking about like religion and all that kind of stuff because I don't want to, I got a brand, man. I'm not trying to get all into that. But it's very interesting. Privately, yeah, we could talk for hours. Okay, so David Massey, my Christmas challenge was a success. My sponsors showed out, got 2 songs accepted already for 2024. Actually reserved a submission response at 12:01 January 1st. God's plan. Out of Reach Productions out there hustling. Fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. We celebrating. We celebrating. And I'm glad you did that because again, this is going to play into one of the, the main topic of today's live. Yes, Gary, that discussion is a whole can of worms. Yeah, like, that's a Joe Rogan. Like we get on there on some Joe Rogan stuff and have a whole podcast about that kind of stuff for real. I ain't hating though. Very interesting. Very interesting. So we're in the win sections, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know if any ladies are in here yet, so but I'm just gonna cover all bases. Um, yeah, so let me know what you did between last week and this week to where you got any steps ahead of where you were. Like, and that could be anything. You learned a new skill, you studied a YouTube video, you finished a project, you pitched some music, you know, you did something that put you a couple steps ahead of where you were the week before. Mr. Robertson, the producer, says he got his first brief and he's working on it. That's huge. Fire emojis, fire emojis, fire emojis. You know how long it takes times for people to get to that point where they get that first brief? So, matter of fact, Mr. Robertson, tell me how long it took you to get that first brief. How long you been doing it? So that's your first one. So how long did it take from zero, I'm gonna start trying, to like now I got my first brief? How long did it take? Now, every person's situation will vary. Definitely bust those fire emojis though. 5 what? 5 months. You see that, guys? 5 months, man. There's a lot of people that wouldn't have lasted 5 months. They would have, and it takes a lot longer than that sometimes. Like there's people, 2 years, you know, a year and a half, 2 years, maybe 3 years. It just depends on what it is, how much you have to learn in the meantime, what mistakes you're making. Like I said, everybody's road is different. But the thing is that this brother's, he hung in there for 5 months. And the thing about sync is not the thing, but one of the things about sync is that a lot of your success or failure is going to come, due to whether you just hang in there or not. If you quit at any point during the marathon, you have a 100% chance of failure. The second you decide to give up for whatever reason, oh, it ain't moving fast enough, all life is life, and or whatever, I don't see no money in this, or whatever it is, right? You got a 100% chance of failing if you give up. But for every day you stay in it, for every month you stay in it, for every week you decide to learn something, and you pile that, that learned skill, that learned detail on top of the last thing you learn, you apply, you rinse and repeat, then your odds of success go up every single day. Every day you wake up and you're like, I'm gonna smash on this shit again, the odds of success go up, right? So the longer you stay in it, the higher chance of getting in you have. They'll just, but some people the wait is just longer because when they start, it just depends on where their 0 point is, where their jump off point is. If they know absolutely nothing about sync, if they have a particular aptitude for some things and not so much others. And what I mean by that is, like, they might be great at learning how to set the music up and do sting outs and that kind of thing, but horrible about communication, horrible about emailing people or whatever, or keeping a schedule like that or whatever. So whatever it is that they're lacking, whatever holes they got to fill, is going to take whatever time to fill those holes. And then, like I said, life, it does happen simultaneously. So you got to deal with things simultaneously or whatever. So, but the thing is that it's that persistence and that consistency and that patience. Every post I do on Instagram, I say, I write, be patient, do the work, because that's basically the moniker right there. Like, as long as you're applying what you learn and you're patient, keep doing the other stuff that you're doing, work your job, keep releasing music. We're going to talk about releasing music a little bit later too. Keep doing what you're doing, but keep putting pressure on the sync thing, right? Right. And, you know, I'm in this space and I harp on the sync thing, especially these days, because to be real with you boys and girls, we don't got a lot of options when it comes to monetizing our music, especially these days. Um, uh, um, One of my guys hit me this week. What's up, Zello? How you doing, man? One of my guys hit me this week and told me that there's been some partnerships, and I'm sure you guys know DistroKid partnered with, one of the labels. Um TikTok partners is partnered with one of the labels or whatever. So basically, uh like, Petrol hit me to this. So basically, it's like this: if you take your own music that you made on your computer, and it's your music, your beat, your song, right? And then you do a post on like TikTok or Instagram, right? And you use your own music that you just made to be the background music for your post, they're starting to flag that because they're saying that it's not licensed content, right? And then on TikTok, they even give you the option, well, you can use these songs instead, whatever stuff that's already licensed through their platform. And so if you haven't released the song through like DistroKid or a platform like that, then they're gonna flag it because it's not an official release or it's not a licensed release. So at least through DistroKid, you have to let them know who the rights holders are and the percentages and that kind of thing or whatever. So they're not allowing people to just upload music. They're going to stop allowing people to just upload their own music and try to gain traction without that music being released. And it's kind of a double-edged sword because they're partnered in those like DistroKid, they're partnered in those platforms. So once you go to a DistroKid, I think it's Universal, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken, but I know it's a major. They're partnering with somebody. So when you get whatever streams through DistroKid, whatever their piece is, they got a partnership with the label, so the label still gets paid. So you're not gonna run from the label as an indie. Like, the term independent is really coming with an asterisk these days because these companies are going to where the indies were going. Because you remember when DistroKid first dropped, it was like, oh, we can do our own thing. It only costs this much or whatever. And you got like, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people running over to DistroKid to release their own music, right? So the labels are like, oh, that's where they're going. It's like advertisers. Advertisers go where the people go. So the labels are like, oh, that's where they're going over there. They think they're gonna make all their own money or whatever. Let's go over here and partner with them. And so every time somebody releases an independent release, we get a piece or whatever. Um, Crazy, crazy. Times are crazy. These big companies are like trying to figure ways out. One thing that I did read is that royalty rates for streaming are going up. So we're gonna make, instead of point 0.003, we might make 0.005 or whatever. But I'm kidding. We make a little bit more money. But I say all that to say that sync licensing is like, I don't want to say the only viable option when it comes to like really being able to promote yourself, really being able to monetize your music, move forward, that kind of thing. It just seems like sync is it. There's really like, ain't nobody trying to run and go get a 360 deal nowhere. These labels and corporations are figuring out, okay, you going over here trying to be independent. I'll sneak in the back door and get some of that money, or whatever. But them flagging our independent music on the platforms where we are not going to just be able to use it. You use your own music on a YouTube video that you made, and they're going to tell you, now you got to use some licensed music. Go register this up, and put it out, and then you can use it. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. On one hand, from a business aspect, I see it because you are a platform that just, a YouTube, say for instance, you are a platform that just lets people, you know, upload content for free. You don't charge them, and then people make, become millionaires and $100,000 heirs. Mr. Beast and all these guys that have huge platforms, and they didn't get charged to upload their content. I got a buddy that used to work at Google, and he used to work at Apple too. Beast of a guy. Shout out to Kevin. But Kevin used to work at Google, and he was, he knows the guys that started YouTube, right? So he was telling me how when they were having those initial meetings at YouTube, the guys that came up with the basic concept of it, they had to go sit down with everybody else and let them know, okay, this is what we want to do, this is how it's going to work. And when they said that YouTube was going to be free, everybody else was like, are you guys crazy? So let me get this straight. You're gonna let people upload their content to our platform where we're using our cloud services to store all of this content, millions and millions and millions of uh, terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of data. I won't say millions of terabytes, but there's tons and tons of data. Um, and we're not going to charge people for this or whatever. And they were like, nah, we're not going to charge them for it. We're going to make it free because tons and tons of people are going to come and do this because it's free. And when the tons and tons of people come, the advertisers are going to follow them. The advertisers are going to go where the people go. And that's exactly why YouTube is free. And that's why we get ads on all our YouTube videos, because now, the whole thing when you're a YouTuber is to do things to get your video monetized. And so that means commercials, right? Um, and so that's where we are, like with this media thing of doing things with our own music. They're gonna put the kibosh on that, man. They're not gonna keep letting us upload our music to these platforms without our music being licensed through something. And then most avenues that we have in order to do that, like a DistroKid, they're going to have their hands in it anyway. So you can either pay us this way, or you're $14 a month or $12 a month to DistroKid or whatever it is. We're going to get it that way. So um, it's war on the indie artist and the indie producer, man. They're not trying to let us do our thing, right? And so that's why um one of the main topics for today's live is uh moving with intent. Be intentional in your movement. Now, like I said, I don't make New Year's resolutions, man. I don't do that. I believe in keeping your foot on the gas. But for those of you that do make New Year's resolutions, for those of you that do get that fuzzy feeling at the beginning of the year, um and it's not for no reason. Like I said, it does represent new beginnings, and especially in business, it's like new money, new budgets, and that kind of thing or whatever. So I ain't hating or whatever. I just don't make resolutions. But for those that do, uh I'm going to be giving you guys a lot of advice this year, like I usually do. But if I was only able to give you one piece of advice for the whole year, that advice would be in 2024, make 2024 the year of uh being intentional. you know, being intentional in everything that you do. I've used this analogy before. Um, it's like trying to build a skyscraper and somebody throwing all of the stuff on the ground and saying, just go do it. See, here's the thing, y'all. Y'all don't understand, or you may understand. It's easy as hell to be on a treadmill doing what we do. So, say like you do feel like you have a hustle mentality, man. I'm gonna go out there and get it. I'm gonna be on this the social media. I'm gonna be in the lab. I'm gonna do what I gotta do, right? But you don't have a plan. You didn't sit down and say, okay, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Monday, I'm gonna do this. Tuesday, I'm gonna knock that out. Wednesday, da 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 da. Now you wake up and like, okay, what I'm gonna do today? Okay, let me make some beats. I want to make sure I make 10 beats today. Okay, you didn't plan that yesterday, but today you wake up, it's like, okay, I'm gonna make 10 beats today. I'm gonna make 5 beats today. Make sure I get my social media in. Oh, let me go run, do some push-ups or whatever, this and that or whatever. Um, it's easy to have that kind of lifestyle where you feel like you're doing stuff because you're in motion, and then to look up 2, 3 years from now, and you're not only basically in the same state place that you were, but your mentality, your mindset is basically in the same place or even worse than it was because now 2, 3 years have gone by. You might be a little bit bitter because ABC didn't work out, over the past, 2, 3 years or whatever, but you didn't really make any progress because your moves were not intentional moves. You didn't plan, right? If somebody throws a bunch of girders and wood and rivets and stuff on the ground, and then they give you some blueprints and some plans, then 2, 3 years go by, you're going to be looking up at a beautiful skyscraper, because you followed ABC, and it's funny because doing things for ourselves seems to be the hardest thing to do. Case in point, all of us have had regular jobs. Whatever time is required for you to be at that job, you be there at that time. It's 8 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 4 in the morning, 11 at night. You be there at that time and you're there consistently at that time for the most part. Everything that's required of you to do at that job, if somebody says, hey, so and so, could you please go over there and do such and such for me right now? You're going to be like, no problem, Bob. You're going to get up and go over there and do that for Bob right now. You're going to get it done. And you're going to do that for 4, 8, 6, 12 hours, however long your shift is, for however many days of the week it is, for however many pay periods it is. And you're going to keep doing that. And then you're going to come home and not do it for yourself. You're going to put hours in getting told what to do and then being efficient doing that. You getting told what to do, you're going to go do what you're told to do. But then when it comes to like, okay, I'm going to put that same kind of like discipline on my own self where I don't have to have a boss telling me what to do, where I don't have to have somebody requiring me to be here at a certain time, at risk of some sort of punishment because I'm not there on time. Like put them say kind of pressures on yourself. Say, man, if I don't get up at 8 o'clock or if I don't do this ABC, then I'm gonna take this for myself. No PlayStation or no whatever it is I love to do, but like you got to have some discipline, man. This takes discipline. As you can see, the world that we're in, as far as this music is concerned, is evolving and it's not evolving in our favor. Us making indie music and being able to monetize that music or having opportunities to be able to live off of the music or even like really monetize it in a meaningful way other than sync licensing is drying up, right? Look at the average person that you guys know, you guys peers, your friends, in your age group or whatever. Like, even younger folks, your sons, daughters or whatever. How many of them are really trying to go get a record deal? You don't even hear nobody trying to go get no record deal or wanting to get no record deal no more. You know, most young people are more excited about becoming viral on TikTok or viral on social media than to go get a record deal, right? Matter of fact, the record labels are more excited about you becoming viral. And I'm not even talking about all the way from music. You going viral on social media for anything usually means a payday for you, right? And so because all the way since the Vine days, it's been demonstrated that the average Joe can do some pretty average things online, but if you're consistent with it, you can make some money doing it. The advertisers saw that when the people went. Now the advertisers are there. Now here we are with TikTok, and even apps like Temu. If you guys shop on Temu, Temu is like a shopping app that has social media elements. So it has like little mini games and stuff. Like I just saw this documentary about Temu. Their whole thing is about engagement. So Yeah, they want you to buy all of that cheap stuff on there. Some of it is really cool stuff though for cheap or whatever, but we'll talk about that later. But their whole thing is engagement. The whole thing is just to get you on the app, keep you on the app. So they got the spin the wheel thing on there. They got you where you can like you're a farmer or something, you can build things on there like little mini games or whatever to where you can win discounts or whatever, So basically there's a whole lot of psychology being done against us as far as like, you know, where we're spending our time at, how we're spending our money, what we're doing online, and what we're doing with our music, right? How we're engaging people with our music. You guys are always seeing how, the ones that are posting stuff consistently, your content. I see on threads too, people complaining about the algorithms. Oh, the algorithms can't change. I can't see the stuff that I want to see on my timeline. And, people aren't pushing my music, they're not pushing my music out or whatever. So what I'm saying is that nothing is organic anymore as far as our music. It's not just like, okay, if I just post my music a whole bunch of people will see it because like these companies in the background are kind of making sure that the music that they have a piece of the pie in are going to the masses, that the algorithms are pointing the stuff that they got a stake in to the masses. And if your stuff isn't part of one of those engines, you know, a distro or something, not even distro or something that's major that they got their hands in or whatever, it's just going to be that much harder for you to promote your stuff. That's why sync licensing checks so many boxes. You can hopscotch and skip over so much bullshit. Excuse my French. I know I probably just demonetized. Well, I don't got hardly no followers anyway, but um, you can hopscotch scotch and skip over so much stuff when you start obtaining music placements because the viewership alone on even reality show placements are often in the high hundreds of thousands to the low millions, right? But then if you start getting like, network primetime placements or significant sports placements or whatever, you got viewership uh in the millions. And when you translate that to like, okay, so like you say like you get, I remember we got a few placements on like you guys remember Blackish and Grownish on NBC. So we've gotten quite a few placements with like, network shows like that. But I remember like the last uh Blackish placement that we got, I looked at the viewership and the episode, it was like 8 million people that night because it's prime time. That's one of those shows that's on the network, it's prime time and it's super popular, right? And so then I was thinking, I was like, well, damn, if I was an independent artist releasing a song and it got played on like, you know, Spotify, Pandora, shout out to old ass Pandora or whatever, streaming service or whatever, or even play locally on my radio station, on my power station here in LA or wherever you guys are from. What would the listenership be for that one spin, for that play? Okay, so here in LA, one of the biggest markets in the country is for radio. We got Big Boy out here and all that or whatever. If you're and then the prime time for that would be like drive at 5, so anywhere between 4 and like 7 o'clock. If your stuff is played on the radio here, you might get a couple million people, you might get 1.5 million people, whatever, listening to it. Most of the people are going to be sitting in their cars in traffic on the way home or whatever. You know, if you get it on the streaming service, I'm talking about for this one play, this one spin, right? You get it on a Spotify or whatever, and they play it on a Spotify. I don't know how many people, but it probably get a couple million people, maybe a few 100,000 people hear it in that one, you know. But the thing is in these other scenarios, you're sharing the spotlight with everybody else on Spotify. You're sharing the spotlight with everybody else in whatever platform or whatever. But if you have a song placement or a beat placement on a TV show, whatever, there's only so many pieces of music on a TV show, you know. I mean, I've seen up to 200 cues on a TV show, on a reality based television show, whatever, but it's usually between 100, 150 cues, on a TV show, including the theme, including a whole bunch of tension and stuff that has nothing to, that you're not competing with your particular style because the show use different styles or whatever. So even with that 150 cues, that's still less than the millions that you're going to be, you know, trying to get played with on a Spotify or whatever. So I say all that to say, especially if you are doing like a full song, right? Uh your music is gonna stand out. You know, you're gonna stand out on a TV show. You're gonna have high viewership. It's impressive as hell as far as your marketing. If you rack up enough of them and you stack them up and you do want to go talk to a record label, it's a whole different conversation. You're not going at them begging for no 360 deal or whatever. You're not going in there based because you went viral a couple times with a song and now they want you, you know, twerking on camp, whatever it is, like, you know, you talking business, you standing on business, you know what I'm saying? So you going in there like, hey, I got some streaming numbers, but we're not talking about that. I got royalties. I got royalties. I got residual income on the writer side and generating on the publisher side. What up? What y'all talking about? Y'all want a piece? Y'all doing it anyway. Everywhere else you guys see sync is happening in a big way. You know, Sony Music partnering with Extreme Music. You know, Jingle Punks partnering with Olay Music. You know, these companies see when these libraries or these companies are balling out on the sync side. Sony was like, Extreme Music was at the head of the game. You know, shout out to Russ, owner of Extreme Music. You see this, man? We got to chop it up sometime. Uh, but they saw how they was doing it over there and they went and they did what corporations do. They're like, oh, there's an opportunity over there, let's go over there and infiltrate and acquire, either partner or acquire. That's what they're going to do. So with us doing music, we don't have a lot of options anymore, right? You know, so I'm praying that, you know, everybody that's saying that they're interested in sync and doing sync actually does sync and sticks with it and you know, follows the steps and learns the game and they're patient, this and that, because you know, not only is it the smart thing to do, but like I said, we don't have a lot of options anymore, man. It's not like, you know, ain't nobody getting discovered. It's not like just if you go viral, you're gonna end up with a good deal because they're just waiting to just 360 you. And then in those situations, as you guys also see, there's usually not a lot of substance. So, you know, it's temporary. Shout out to Ice Spice, you know. Um, I can't name besides Munch one Ice Spice song, you know. And you guys know, like, the companies aren't even tripping on substance right now. They're looking for viral moments. You know, viral moments are temporary as hell. You guys, in particular, are trying to build careers. You guys want longevity. You guys want residual incomes. You want that mailbox money. So that's going to take being intentional. You're going to have to plan out your situation. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to customize your life, customize, you know, as much as you can. If somebody gave you $1 million right now, cash money, and tax free, and you were able to just, you know, skip out, go do what you're going to do, everything from that point on, everything that you go cop from that point on is going to be customized. When you go get your car going to be the color you want it. It's going to have the leather you want. It's going to have the amenities and options that you want in it. When you go buy your clothes, you're going to make sure, shoot, you might get monograms on your clothes now with your initials because you can afford it. You want it personalized. You want it customized. Everything in your house that you can get to be as comfortable as you want for you, you know, your electronics, you're going to have, you know, like retina scanning and voice control and all that stuff to make things like. But the thing is, I'm not trying to be long-winded. The thing is that it's gonna be customized. You're gonna take that money and you're gonna do whatever you need to do to make sure your life is to your liking, to your specifics, right? Even is all the way down to the people in it. You're not gonna have people in your life just for circumstance. Oh, this is my cousin. We grew up together, and this and that. Or you know, I went to school with homie, and this and that, or whatever. This is my boy from child. You're not even gonna do that. Everybody in your life is gonna have a purpose, right? And I don't mean that the purpose has to be like giving you something, but like uh a life with intent boils all the way down to each and every person that you hang out with. If the people ain't fortifying you and making you feel how you supposed to feel, making you, you know, making your journey or your road to your goals easier, um, you got to sidestep them. That's not being intentional. You can't have people around you just because. You can't send a playlist of music out there just because. You got to know who the hell you sending that music to and why you sending that music, and then that music has got to be very specific to that opportunity, and you got to keep doing that over and over and over again until you get success. And then once you get success, then you get success over and over and over again. You're not going to get, you know, too many failures anymore once you get it, once you build up that resume. But the whole thing is moving with intent. Stop just winging it, man. Plan everything you do. When I wake up tomorrow, I'm gonna do ABC. I don't care if you got ADHD. I got it bad as hell. Like, they want me on Adderall right now. I don't do it, but I gotta write stuff down on my phone in my notes app, or I gotta write stuff down on a dry erase board. Yeah, I got a vision board. Shout out to Guilty Flores. He's like very, very adamant about these things. He has to see his vision, right? So he writes down everything. But when you write it down, with a and check it off as it's done, then you look at the list when it's done and shit got done. Like, yeah, you spent time doing it, but then you can look back and be like, okay, that got done. Music producers, right? How many times have you turned on the computer to cook up some music without planning to do it, right? We didn't plan to do it. It's like, oh, let me go in here and cook some stuff up or whatever. You might twist one up or whatever and go sit down and do it. And then you don't finish the beat, right? Be honest and don't lie, because I can guarantee you, if you any kind of beat maker producer like I know, myself included, you got way more unfinished beats on your computer than finished beats. You got way more skeletons on there where you started something, you went and grabbed a splice loop and threw some drums on it, and like you freestyled on it for 15 minutes and probably smoked one, and then I'm gonna finish this one later on. And then the next time you sat down, you had something to do, so you didn't finish it or whatever. That's because you're moving without intent, right? So now look at your computer. Your computer tell the tale. What if all of that music that you have on your computer right now that's not finished, what if it was finished? Think about it, y'all. All of the stuff that we're trying to do with our music is only going to take one piece of music to do it. One beat, one tension cue, one song. It's going to take one thing to wow that music supervisor, to get that sync agent, to get that opportunity. If I open up a playlist and that first track on that playlist is banging and it's checking all the boxes, oh, I'm like, oh, this mix good. The time signature is good. Is they sent just what I needed. Like, you're almost all the way in there already. I'm gonna be like, yeah, let's pick them up. Let me go ahead and listen to this other 6 or 7 or 7 or 8, just to make sure there's consistency or whatever. But um it's really going to take the first one that grabs my ear, that first one that I hear, that's like, oh, okay, yeah, this is dope. They get it, this is hot or whatever. It's going to take one. So the one that gets you over the top, the one that gets that music supervisor, the one that gets you that first brief, you know, that you looking for or whatever, it could be one of them ones on your computer that ain't finished. See what I'm saying? So just think about if you had moved with intent every time you sat down and turned on your computer. When I turn on this computer, I know I'm going to finish at least 3 beats because I planned it out last week. It's on the board right there. Today's Tuesday. It's 11 o'clock, 3 beats by 2 o'clock. And if you really want to be intentful, you can say, okay, the first beat's going to take 45 minutes for this one, an hour for this one. And I mean, I'm serious, like, because nothing great is ever put together uh without planning. Nothing. None of the restaurants that we go to, none of the companies that are in operation, these roads that we drive on, the buildings that we work in or whatever, everything took a lot of time and planning and detail and, execution and not quitting. Right. So I don't know how the hell us as musicians and recording artists and producers and engineers or whatever, we think we're gonna get somewhere without planning and without being intentful. It's just crazy. It's crazy. We really be just trying to wing it. A lot of that sometimes is ego, though. Oh, I'm so dope. It's gonna happen. I just keep pushing. It's gonna happen. I'm dope. The music is dope. Yeah, that's good. You know, I wonder how many people out there that are really, really dope that were leaning on how dope they were, wish that they had learned something else besides that they were dope. Maybe some hustle skills or, you know, something. So you can't lean on that, man. Um, so yeah, going back to what I was saying, I don't want to, be too long-winded. So in 2024, no resolutions, but in 2024, let 2024 be the year of being intentional in your movement. Plan every freaking thing you do. Try it. And it's not going to be easy because we all got bad habits. You got bad habits right now. You got to break a habit. It's just like telling somebody that's smoking cigarettes, throw that cigarette down and stop smoking. Like they be tripping out. They be like, going through shakes and all that kind of stuff or whatever, or y- better yet, for somebody that's something you might more relate to, just imagine like you had to go somewhere away from your house and it was like an hour away from your house, and then you get there and you realize you left your phone at home. Oh, Lord Jesus. Most of us would freak out. We so addicted to our phones or whatever. But yeah, man. So be intentional. That's one of the things. Well, that's the main thing, man. Like we just can't wing it. Um, be intentional in everything you learn as far as how to structure your music and the actual music creation for sync, but be extremely intentional when it comes down to pitching your music. Who you're sending your music to, why you're sending this particular person or company that music. And you find this out by going to these websites, you go to these IMDb's and you find out, what kind of music they're using. Does it line up with what you specialize in? Are they actually getting placements with the kind of stuff? Like, look at their placements. Are they getting placements with the kind of stuff that you do or whatever? If you're being really intentional, you can start snooping around on the music supervisor, maybe see what other projects that they've worked on besides the shows that you're trying to submit to. If they got a history, then you can snoop around. This is all stuff that's like, it could come up in conversation later. And information is power. You want to gather as much information as you can so you can be as intentional as you can. You might find out something about that music soup, that one tidbit in the email you're able to convey that gets you over the top. Oh yeah, man, I love the music that you used in that, Iowa Clemson game or whatever. I don't even know if Iowa and Clemson played. I'm just saying hypothetically. But last year for for whatever, for March Madness or whatever, or for whatever, for the NCA, for whatever. What I'm saying, but you went back and you referred to an old project, and they're gonna be like, oh, okay, right. Ain't nothing wrong with a little ego stroking sometimes when you're genuine doing it. Like, don't be fake, be intentional, right? Um, and so let me go to the comments because I just went on a real tear there. Remember what I told you, Mr. Robinson? The producers now time to knock their socks off with bangers. You in there? Big congrats! Oh hell yeah! Fire emojis, fire. Did you guys give Mr. Robinson the fire emojis? I appreciate if you do. If you didn't, Cherry man, I was wondering where the hell you were. Be scaring me, lady producer up in here. How you doing, Cherry? On TikTok, you can only load your music on your personal account. It won't let you if it's a business account. Yeah, I don't even know how long they're gonna let you do that. Well, situation, definitely, Drizzle. I'm just catching up in the comments, you guys. Walter, did you get in an accident? Walter Bowie, did you get in a car accident? I thought I saw something like that on, if that was you on LinkedIn? Isaac Hayes III said it best that social media online stuff is one big psychological masterclass. Absolutely. On behavioral patterns. Oh yeah. You can best believe many dollars are being spent on just studying why we're doing what we're doing so they can figure out where our dollars are and how to get to our dollars. And they're finding that out by our data. Data is the new gold. Everybody wants your data. They want to know everything you're doing. Writing stuff down on sticky notes stuck to my screens was a game changer. Oh yeah, because you keep it in your face. Make an intention board, get a dry erase board and write your intentions on there as well. But do whatever works well for you, man. I find that, like, yeah, sticky notes work well. Sometimes writing stuff on my phone is not good when I use the notes app because like I'll end up on social media scrolling just because I got my phone in my hand. But, using a real dry erase board, physical paper, in the real world, this is like a stark reminder that hey, you need to get this shit done, stop messing around, type thing or whatever. Like I was saying before, it's a bad habit. Like it's bad habits we got to break. So it ain't gonna be easy for some of us, right? And don't expect it to be. Matter of fact, if I was you guys, I would embrace the difficulty because if it's difficult, you building something, you doing something, you actually doing something worth something, you building something great. Nothing dope is easy to build. Nothing. There's nothing that you like that's a physical thing. The dopest house, the dopest car, the nicest restaurant. Like everything was intentional and took a bunch of planning and stuff like that. And it wasn't easy to do. You know, I can't just go build a building. It's not easy. You got to have expertise to do that. So stop expecting what you guys are trying to do to happen quickly and for it to be easy. Look forward to it being difficult, right? But you can also look forward to you learning and being a better, stronger, smarter person on the other side of that difficulty. There ain't nothing ahead of you that's so difficult you can't get it, right? And for God's sakes, take the time and do it and try your best to get it because, like I was saying earlier in the live, you don't want to be that guy that's the perfect employee. That's, oh yeah, boss, I'll be there at 8 o'clock, I'll be there at 6 o'clock, and I'll do whatever the hell you tell me to do the whole time I'm there. Hey, you need me to stay after, boss? Because you're getting paid overtime that time and a half, right? So you down to stay and do whatever it is for that time and a half, but you don't want to put 2 more hours in once you get home. You want to take your boots off and twist one up and drink cold beer and watch TV, but you actually want to do something though. You want to do something with your music. It's not like you don't care. You would love to have opportunities with your music, be exposed on a TV show, maybe get a commercial or something like that. But you don't want to put the work in because it's going to take too long, or you don't want to put the work in because you feel like it's saturated. There's so many people trying to do it or whatever. Well, yeah, there's a lot of people trying to do it right now, but let me tell you, music ain't hard to find. A reliable source of that music is very, very hard to find. So the stuff that I keep preaching to you guys, be consistent, stay in there, don't quit, learn, da 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 da. These are the things that you don't see as much. The people that cross the finish line, it's like the Boston Marathon. How many people actually finish that mug versus how many start? A very small percentage actually end up crossing the finish line. Some of them be crawling across that mug. And I'll be damned, me at this sink or me in anything I do, if I decide to do it, I might be that one crawling across the finish line. I might be like 50 yards from the finish line and have to yell up to Cherry, like, Cherry, come get me. You see the videos and come back and drag me across or whatever. But I'm gonna tell you, I'm getting across that bitch. I'm getting across the finish line. I am not gonna stop nothing that I start because I know what the difficulty leads to. If y'all don't know what kind of mess I was before all this Smash Code stuff was, I'm trying to tell y'all, man, the stuff that I'm telling you guys, I'm not telling you guys because I'm some sort of sync guru. Yeah, I might be a little bit of a sync guru. I mean, I ain't gonna hate on that. But the thing is that the only reason that I know what I know is because I made every mistake damn near there was to make, right? And the only reason that I'm here able to tell you about these mistakes and give y'all game and teach you guys stuff is because I never quit. I stayed in long enough to overcome those mistakes, to learn from the mistakes, right? And some of them were devastating. Like I used to do everything bad. I used to send attachments, you know, emails way too big, emailing people too long, saying too much stuff that wasn't relevant in the email, sending, not doing no due diligence, copying and pasting, sending music to everybody, you know, not interpreting the briefs correctly, uh, not being as dependable as I should have been. Like everything that I tell you I did all of it. Lost big clients. I had Bruno Murray as a big client, lost them, sending them, sending them, uh, sending them zip folders. God, when I say that out loud, I'm like, dude, damn, man, I did that. Like, I would scold one of y'all if y'all send me a zip folder and it came back into the live. I'd be like, what the hell? You're sending an attachment, right? Which is a no, 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 no. And then you're gonna send like 50 beats. I remember too, because I was so happy the music super was like, yeah, we'll take it. We need EDM and this and that or whatever. And we're gonna be using you all season and this and that. I was like, I'm on. And I sent like 75 beats in a zip folder or whatever. And then keep in mind 75 beats, like, they wasn't tripping on sting outs, so they all had sting outs and no metadata, and they were MP3s, and it was just a hot mess, right? And so even though they rock with the stuff, my musicality, yeah, I could make the music. I didn't know the business, right? I didn't know how to hustle. I didn't know how to communicate with them effectively. I didn't, so basically what I'm saying is that when I'm telling you guys all the stuff that I tell you week after week is because I effed up. Like in this sync game, every way there is to F up in this sync game, I effed up, right? And I learned from it. And so the two things that I got from it is A, embrace the mistakes, try not to make the mistakes, be intentional. The reason why I effed up so much is because I wasn't intentional. I was winging it. And then be patient, stay in it. You, like I said, it only takes one, and you have no way of knowing how close you are to that one popping. You know, once you start getting to the point where you were really intentional, this is before you send any music out to anybody, before you pitch anything. If you're very, very intentional in the initial, right? You do everything you're supposed to do. Make sure that music is right, first of all, because at the end of the day, the music's got to be impressive. So make sure your musicality, your cues are top notch as you can get them, right? And then you've done all your studying as far as how to email people and this and that. Once you get to that point or whatever, um, then it's just rinse and repeat. You've done like the lion's share of the work, right? But it's gonna take time. It's gonna take time. The majority of the time isn't spent learning sing. The majority of the time is spent pitching and waiting for something to happen, right? Everybody's road is different. Like I said, if you're starting from zero, your road from zero to getting a brief or zero to getting that first placement depends on a lot, but it all depends on you, right? So, however much you can pick up, however fast you can learn, it's on you, whatever. But the thing is that something is going to happen. If you don't quit, something is going to happen. Takes that consistency, right? But the biggest mistake that I see that I haven't been seeing get addressed enough in this world of sync education and these communities that we have is talking about just being intentional, mean what the hell you are trying to do, and figure out as many ways as possible or the most efficient ways as possible to implement a plan and a structure, and follow that plan and follow that structure, you know like it's simple on paper, man. If I tell you, you know, go in that building and get to the top floor, but there's no elevator and no stairs, how you gonna do it? You got to figure it out, right? That's what this music shit is. That's what we're doing. It's like, damn, I'm trying to get to the top, but there ain't no stairs, there ain't no elevator. So I'm gonna climb on this ledge. I'm gonna climb on this wood. I'm gonna hang off this brick. I'm gonna, oh, there's a flagpole. Let me hang off that and swing like you. We free climbing, trying to get there when all we got to do is just stop. Wait a minute. Let's exercise some patience. Let's not rush through the situation. Let's build some stairs, you know, or we really want to take some time and do our due diligence, let's build an elevator, and that equates to us just learning what we have to do. Let's learn what sting outs are. Let's learn how to, approach these music soups and these companies. Let's learn how to network online. Let's learn how to get our social media in order and our marketing, and realize that we're our business because we're trying to monetize our music. Let's do these things first and build this staircase, and then we'll just walk up this damn staircase to the top. Now it's going to be a long walk, a long climb, but at least there's a staircase, right? So that means there's a beginning and an end to it. You're gonna get somewhere. There's a light at the end of the tunnel, but you gotta be in the tunnel to get to the light, right? Can't quit. So with all that being said, let me look one more time to the comments. And because I remember Walter Bowie, I asked him if he had gotten into an accident. Oh, shout out to Drizzle. Much love, fam. Got a grocery store run later. All right, we'll talk to you later, man. Thanks for popping in. What's up, Mark Abrams? Nice to see you, brother. Happy Friday. So Walter says, hold on. Just a second, yeah. I'm looking for Walter's comment. Happy Friday. Just a second, you guys. Oh yeah, he said, yeah, he did. He says, I was hit by a drunk driver on Saturday morning. So that was your vehicle I saw in there, man. God bless you. I'm so happy you okay, bro. If you guys follow him on LinkedIn, go check his vehicle out on LinkedIn. He got towed up, man. That's the reason why my ass don't be out on New Year's. I talked about that at the beginning of this live. People be making fun of me too. I got friends like, you're not going out, you're not doing nothing. Like I've done all that. I've done all the party and stuff like that. I stay my ass in the house 48 hours straight. So thank God you okay, man. And a drunk driver, so like so like cliche, you got hit by a drunk driver on New Year's, the stuff that we only see on the news, you know. That's crazy, man. Thank God you okay, man. God bless you and the family. I bet it was scary too. I've been in a couple car accidents where they hit you, it's loud, it's very traumatizing. Petrol says, Happy Friday, y'all. Just got out of a meeting at work and could not wait to get to the live. Yeah, we were talking about what you were talking about earlier, man. So if you could add a little bit of clarity because I wasn't sure which companies partnered with who. So you said DistroKid was with somebody and somebody was with somebody else, but basically, us just putting our music up there, they're gonna be trying to get a piece of it because these companies are partnering up. So you could shed a little bit of light on it. You guys look in the comments because Petro's gonna he gonna help me out here. Wow, I appreciate you being open about the mistakes that you've made coming up in the sync music world. It's inspiring and encouraging, dropping lots of gems. Much appreciated. Man, I appreciate that too. And that's exactly why I do it. I don't want you guys to think that, see, that's the thing about you guys see the brand and that kind of thing. It's like, social media, we only show you the good stuff. You don't see what goes on behind the scenes, and you definitely not going to see the blood and the sweat and the tears of struggle. Like it's just like we don't show you that or whatever. So I mean, yeah, Smash Coast, we good right now, but it took a lot of messing up. Like we messed up a bunch, to our own detriment at that. Like I said, I lost clients and probably our public perception was bad. I had a while back where I dipped out of Smash Coast for a while. Still had it, but then I was working with another company called Meshack Media, and that was a mistake to do that. But I got an even larger social media following. Like I got a large following, but I got more people following me because of the Meshack situation, because of who I was connected to over there. Um, Gained popularity, but it ended up being a bad situation. So then I came back to Smash Coast, and my clients were confused because now it looks like I'm cross branding. I don't know what company I'm with, and there was uncertainty in my marketing, and I didn't even have the same logo as I got now. I didn't have a website and all kind of stuff like So this was just like probably 6 7 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, about 6 years ago now. Um, and yeah, didn't have no swag, didn't have this logo, whatever, and came off of that Meshack situation and just had to start over from scratch. I knew a couple music supervisors that still rock with me. Um, Met Kim at that time, brought her on with me, and we basically rebuilt Smash Coast from scratch. You know, based on like, okay, we know all the mistakes not to make now, right? Like you know and this is like within a decade of now, like we had to really put our expertise to work, our networking skills to work, all of the stuff that I tell you guys, sync hustle mindset. I had to activate every bit of it, to get this to where it is now, and and how we're growing now. And it never stops. Like it's not like it always looks easy from the outside, but it never stops. All of the stuff that I teach you guys, I got to keep the relationships up. I got to, keep the musicality up. I got to keep the consistency. I got to keep doing it. I keep the pressure on, just like I tell you guys to do. Um, but one thing I don't have to do is convince people that I'm in this game to win it because I've been in it long enough to and didn't quit. So that consistency has lasted long enough to now, like, I'm a player in this game, and my peers know that. So that's what you want to do. You want to stay in it long enough to where it's like, okay, you know, like this Sync Hustle Mindset, this live stream. I'm on here every Friday, right? And I'm consistently on here every Friday, so much to where if I don't pop on here on Friday, which has only happened like twice in the past couple years, right? If I don't pop on here, I'm getting y'all in my DMs and text messages be like, "Hey, FM, you all right?" Cherry be like, "Hey, coach." I like that. That'd be making me smile when she called me coach. But she'll text me like, "You good, coach?" When I don't show up. And the reason why that is, and God bless y'all for doing that. Y'all don't even really understand how good that makes me feel when that happens. But it only happens because of consistency. I've been consistent. I don't be wanting to pop on here every Friday. It'd be Friday. Sometimes at 11 o'clock on Friday, I'll be wanting to be out in the streets doing some regular Joe stuff, whatever. But I can't say that I'm not just as excited to get on here and talk to you guys too, because it does fill me up, especially when I hear the wins, when I see people like Segura that were in a certain place when they started, when I first met them on here. Now I see where they are now, you know, uh, it's just amazing. Not only is he getting placements, but he's teaching people and this and that. Walter Boy, you doing your own, you're doing your thing, you know it's just a dope thing, man, to see. So that's why I come here and do it. But I'm consistent with it, right? If I wasn't consistent, y'all wouldn't believe me half the time. Oh, he don't know what he talking about, you know so there's a lot that comes with that. But be intentional. Damn it. Universe owns 40-50% of Spotify. Oh, Universal owns 40 to 50% of Spotify, and Spotify owns a portion of DistroKid. So by proxy, Universal owns a portion of DistroKid. Do y'all hear that? It's just messed up, man. It's messed up. It's like we can't win. It's like we try to be independent and just be okay. Well, DistroKid give us a platform. We can give them their little bit of money or whatever. Nah, Universal, like, nah, man. We about to sneak in here, creeping out the back door. Yeah, they creeping in the back door, trying to make that back door money. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Universal owns a chunk of Spotify, and Spotify owns a chunk of DistroKid. So again, sync licensing, y'all. Sync licensing is the only thing that you can get into, and don't nobody got to own your stuff. It's still your music. Whether you do an exclusive with somebody or whether you do a non-exclusive, it's your masters. It's your music, your masters. So if you're willing to put the work in, be diligent and intentional, like you can kind of write your destiny, man, to a certain extent. The sky's the limit. Shout out Guilty Flores. So Petrol continues. So essentially, no one is independent with streaming, and Spotify stopped paying small time streamers. Absolutely. Segura says, on the topic of cross marketing, do you have any insight on showing love publicity to the companies you work with without coming off as inconsistent? Well, what we did this year, and I hope I'm staying on topic with what you just asked me. Let me read again on topic. Do you have any insight on showing love publicly to the companies you work with without coming off as inconsistent? Okay, so let me break that down. Okay. Now, if they're big companies, like say for instance, we got a big advertising agency we work with, Saatchi and Saatchi, right? And so we did some promos. Matter of fact, the majority of the people, if not all of the people this year on Smash Coast that got placements, we had them create videos thanking the people that got them placed. Thank you to Saatchi and Smash Coast for this year. We look forward to that kind of thing. We kind of bit that idea from So Stereo. I ain't gonna even front. We saw So Stereo doing it, and just gonna be real with y'all. I wasn't happy with Smash Coast's sizzle reel, like our year-end sizzle reel this year. I didn't have enough stuff on it that I felt like was impressive enough, especially like, and I shouldn't be looking at other people's backyard, but like So Stereo be dropping sizzle reels every freaking 2 weeks, right? Shout out to Owen over there at So Stereo. We get placements with them quite a bit too. Um, but I saw that they had done that and it looked cool. And so I figured that we could do that And because we did get quite a few placements for people, a lot of placements that we got, it was their first placements too. So I get real prideful when I get first placements for people. I'm happy about that. But it seemed like a way for us to be able to stretch content more so, show a different type of post because you didn't see those types of posts of thanking the people that you're working with or whatever. Um, it doesn't have to be consistent because you thanking them. It could be a end of the year thing. It could be a quarterly thing. It could be whatever. So you don't got to worry about that. But overall, I don't think it's a bad idea at all. Now, what I will say though is that if it's big companies like that, yeah, sure. But if it's like a lot of the times, just know. See, how can I say this? Whoever you post that you're getting placements with, that you're getting money with, people gonna run to them as soon as you post them, right? Some of them people, and you should expect that because you're promoting them when you're saying it. Hey, I got Sachi and Sachi. People gonna be hitting Sachi and Sachi's emails to be expected. But if you got placements with the homie, and then the other homie go behind your back to get to the homie or whatever, like I've seen that kind of stuff happen too, right? So hopefully that's not what you're talking about, but I'm just trying to like cover all bases here or whatever. So um but yeah, to answer your question, no, not a bad idea to think. And if you don't want to do it publicly in the post, it's always cool to go in the email, to be safe if it's a situation where you feel like you don't want to like really really give your plug up kind of thing. Just depends on the scenario. But yeah, a personal email, a card, digital card or something, but like from me to you type, a personal thing, not so much a post. Because sometimes a post can be interpreted like it's like when people go give food out to the homeless but they take cameras. It's like I don't know who said, but JC said the best way to do that is anonymous type thing or whatever. So I guess take every scenario. You see, I'm talking my way through the answer. It's funny. Um, take every situation, per that situation. But yeah, it's always a good idea to thank who you're working with. We did it publicly this time. Great question, by the way. Great question, Segura. Thank you so much. He says, I work with a sizable amount of companies now. So sometimes going after the same opportunities, don't want to come off a certain kind of way. Yeah, that's the thing, especially in non-exclusive situations that you'll get the same brief from multiple companies or whatever. But like, nah, man, I don't think it's gonna come off a certain way because like you're not that way. There is energy involved too, right? So people can interpret thirst through a post or thirst through an email, and you're not thirsty like that. You genuine with your intent. So anytime you're thanking someone, you're appreciative. I think it's gonna shine that way because you that way. That's just my personal opinion. Oh, and shout out to Segura Productions for the comment, and shout out to Segura for Productions for the low key flex saying I work with a sizable amount of companies now. I told you he was coming on here when he didn't work with a sizable amount of companies. You know what I'm saying? So it's just dope to see that growth. We're gonna have to give some fire emojis to Segura for that. Fire emojis, please. Count. Fire emojis. Fire emojis, please. That boy ain't gonna quit. Pardon me, that man ain't gonna quit. I ain't finna call you no boy. That man ain't gonna quit. Petro says that's why I stopped putting things on Spotify and want to focus on sync and other avenues. KJ Rose says, yeah, Universal UMG has their hands in everything. Man, they're like the seven-headed monster, man. Anytime we try to go get some money somewhere, they're like, oh, you getting money over there? That's our money you getting. We finna go get some. That's our money. Petro says, would it be better to publicly shout out your wins, say your placements from your ASCAP, and maybe indirectly thank the companies? Um, I wouldn't say better or worse. It's all everybody's situation is different, but it's always good to promote the placement you get. It's always good to shout out the people that you're working with if they helped you. And if you feel like it's gonna help them in some kind of way. It's just always good to be appreciative, man. Showing appreciation, no matter the form, is usually interpreted the right way. It doesn't, If somebody, if you're showing appreciation and they're interpreting it as thirst or something like that, then maybe that's not, like I was talking about our lives being customized. Maybe they're not supposed to be part of it if they're not going to read you the right way. You can't please everybody. So there's no post or nothing that we can do that's just going to rub everybody the right way or you know, have our intent be displayed, you know, to everybody that sees it. Like that's just not the way humans work. Our perceptions are different. So, but yeah, publicly shout the wins out. I would say, yeah, do that. Definitely say your placements. I see people coming up with cue sheets, people, the ASCAPs. I see people flexing their TuneSat reports, so however, but if you're getting them, if you are getting steps ahead, you're getting briefs, you're getting placements, you got action going like that, please show appreciation to who's helping you and post those placements or post those opportunities, post those situations, because if nothing else, it's going to be extremely motivating for people that haven't got to that point yet. Right. And that's what you want to do it for. Yeah, it's going to help you and your social media, but the impact that you're having with these placements, or even with your hustle, even if you ain't got placements, you don't even have to say you got placements. You can get up and be like, yeah, man, if you're intentional, you get up and show your intent. I got up this morning, went to the gym, made 3 beats before breakfast, did my smoothie, did my email run, did my metadata, da 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 da. Like that type of stuff is inspiring, man, because people don't know that. People don't know, you know, we're musicians. We make music when we want to make music, when we're inspired to make music. See what I'm saying? So having all of this structure and I gotta do all this, this forms and all that, whatever, like, it's hard for people to get that. But showing those wins and showing that it can be done and showing your process and that kind of thing or whatever, like it goes a long way. I tell you guys to stay on brand, but you want to show a little bit of your personal side, your human side, just so people could connect with you. Oh, this guy likes to play golf, or he like, in Petro's case, he likes to fly drones and kick it with his kids, and or this guy likes, Tay likes to cook, you know. Um, you know, I don't know. Me, I make beats in my spare time. Like, I'm about to start golf. I'm about to do golf here in a minute. But like, I love production so much that's just my thing is production. So um I do a lot of other stuff though. I'm a car head. I got cars, I got drones, I got, so um, but the thing is just like see, I'm digressing now. That's the ADHD. I look down and now I'm starting to, but you guys know what I'm saying, man. Carolina Breeze, what's up? Oh my God, I ain't seen you in a minute. How you doing, man? And how you doing, Creatives Conversations podcast? Nice to see you. Glad to see you guys in here. Universal is trying to monopolize the game. Really unfortunate. Yeah, and like I said, they're huge. Cherry says, I have a tough time with posting, but I try to remember I'm building a brand and a business. It's separate. Exactly. We were talking about algorithm and why it's good to share a little and then remove it and stay on brand. Right, exactly. Cherry. Yeah, exactly. I have a tough time posting too. I really do. I don't post a lot, nearly as much as I should. It's just hard. It's just tough to do it. But you know, if I don't get to where I'm trying to go as quickly as I want to get, then I can attribute that's one of the things I could attribute it to. I didn't keep my foot on the gas in that area the way I was supposed to. It's all on us, man. It's all on us. But at least you're recognizing where the holes are. That's what I was saying before. Like you'll see where the gaps are. You need to fill them gaps. So, fill them gaps. No excuses. No excuses. Yeah, Carolina Breeze, man. I hope you had a great New Year's and holidays. And he says, blessed to be here. Blessed to have you here. Yeah, I would always show gratitude in some form or fashion, especially at the end of the year, people that rocked with you during the end of the year. I mean, during the year or whatever. Because at the end of the day, y'all, this is music. So you can have the right music. Somebody still got to like accept you into their library, bring you into their company. Like sometimes it's not always about the music, sometimes it's about you. So showing appreciation is always good. So any questions real quick, man? We getting towards the end. So Garrett says, I low key can't stand social media, but it's a requirement. I'm the same way, bro. I'm the same way. I just saw this video yesterday where there's a resurgence in people getting what are called dumb phones. So that's like phones like from the BlackBerry days and the flip phone days where there's no social media apps, there's no apps on them. You get just regular stuff. I think the most you can do is like Wi-Fi hotspot. Um, and it might have a browser on it, it might not, but there's no social media apps or nothing like that. And people are just disconnected from it when they can. And yeah, I appreciate that. I could appreciate that. I think I would have a lot more fun on social media if I could just be myself on social media. You know, not if I didn't have a business, didn't do this sync stuff. If I could just have whatever opinion I wanted, I couldn't get fired from my job if I had an opinion. If I wanted to get on there and talk about aliens or whatever, you know, I would want to be able to do that. I have a lot of interest. I'm a conspiracy theorist. Sometimes I get into a conversation about some nonsense or whatever, but I could never do that online because I can't mess my brand up. And that's irritating. Sometimes I see stuff online, I want to make a comment, you know, even if it's a comment that it's not even harmful. It could be on somebody's page about something, but I got to be careful. And having to always be wary of that is like, you know, it's irritating at times, but hey, it's the bed I made. I'm going to lay in it. Have you guys noticed how TikTok has just become like uh discount Amazon now? You can't scroll without them trying to sell you something. It's crazy. Petrol says turning social media into a business requires a different type of thinking. I literally had to stop myself from responding to things. Oh yeah. One of the reasons why I made this live, why I got the idea of um moving with intent only, is because I get spammed in my DMs on IG a lot by people sending me stuff that ain't directly to me, right? There's a guy on there that's real religious, so he's always sending me stuff about Jesus and stuff or whatever, which I'm not against that or whatever. I love God too, but there's a time and a place, and you're not talking to me. Don't DM me nothing if you're not talking to me. That's why I tell you guys, when you guys hit up these music supervisors, go do your research on these music supervisors. So you're contacting the music supervisor. You are talking to them, not at them. You have every intention on having a conversation with them because you know who you're talking to and this and that. You have a specific reason for talking to them. More importantly, like I'm always saying, you have the ability to bring them value, right? So if you're not trying to bring value to someone or this situation, shut up. Don't be spamming nothing. I get DMs, hey man, thanks for following me. If you could follow this other page as my friend, or hey man, you know, I here's my music, listen to it, hit me back, let me know what you think about it. Oh, I'm what am I free consultant now? Like what the hell? Like so people be social media and wrong as hell, like they having the wrong etiquette like crazy. um, so it got me thinking, like, if these people like actually meant what they were doing, if they had like were intentional with what they were doing, they could actually open more doors. They're taking the time to post, so they're posting and reaching out to people that probably got it automated to where it just spams people to death or whatever. But whatever it is, they're doing it consistently because I get DM consistently by the same people, so they are active on social media, but they got some kind of automated thing where it's just like it's not personal. So I'm blocking them, unfollowing them, all kind of stuff is very irritating to me because I take the time to open it up and see it's just so and so. Wasting my time or whatever. So be intentional. 2024 is the year of being intentional. Period. And everything else falls up under that. So Petrol says, my wife is a therapist and she stated that you need to be fine with making a post and living with the responses, good or bad. It's just marketing. Just be intentional and positive. Exactly. Um, Yeah, people be taking the comments personal. You know, I don't I don't read them. Well, with my platform is cool because I'm not really gonna get people in the comments saying nothing crazy because I'm not doing nothing but trying to help people. But like I said earlier, you can't please everybody. So, it wouldn't shock me if somebody got in a comment and be like, "Hey, bro, you're on some bullshit. Like sync don't work," whatever. I get that, whatever. Anytime you're exposing yourself to the public, you're doing just that. You're exposing yourself to the public. So ain't no telling what you're gonna get. You know, thicken your skin up. Get ready for whatever's gonna come. Cherry says, I had a couple DJs reach out telling me that they want to play my music for a fee. Then he called me bro. Clearly you haven't looked at my page. Yeah, see, that's him spamming. He didn't know who he was talking to. He trying to get some money, thinking that you needed some music for him to promote, do DJ promotions or whatever. It's a hustle. I'm like, if you ain't talking to me, don't talk to me. I got homies that be putting me in text message chains with other friends and stuff. Like, nah, man, don't, you know, if you ain't talking to me, don't talk to me. If you can't hit me up and say Merry Christmas or hit me up and say Happy New Year, don't put me up in a group text to 30 people talking about Happy New Year. I might be being a jerk like by being that way, but like, hey man, I feel like I'm special enough. I require attention. For real, for real. Man, it sure is good to see you guys. Happy New Year again to all the new people and some of the OGs in here. Man, it's good seeing Carolina Breeze in here, man. Missed you. There's a bunch of people that ain't in here though, so, but some of our regulars. So I am. I'm glad to see you, man. Shout out to Arizona up in here. KJ Rhodes, Walter Bowie, man. Special shout out to Walter Bowie. Just got into a pretty significant car accident by a effing drunk driver. You be want to just smack the shit out of them, man. But thank God you here, man, for real. I can't say that enough. I keep saying it because I saw the truck, I saw the picture. I was like, damn, it lightweight looked like you rolled over a little bit. You got side swiped. Looked like you got T-bone. That's how people get killed. This family got killed out here over the weekend on New Year's. Got T-bone. Somebody was running street racing New Year's Eve and got T-bone. 4 people in the car, little baby and little girl and the mom. They all got sent to heaven. So, like I said, we're glad you're here, man. Segura says it's the DJs and the album artists that get on my nerves. I respect the hustle, but I don't even respect the hustle at this point with the album artists because it's the same thing. Them dudes that sit with the cover art or the cartoon, make you cartoon or whatever. Dude, I'm sick of y'all. There's so many apps now for like artwork and stuff, and from Canva all the way up to Mid Journey and beyond. Like, y'all better come up with another hustle. That's not I don't respect that hustle. That's getting on people's nerves. That ain't no hustle to me. Want me to pay them for weekly posts. That's crazy. Yeah, AI handles art. Segura says AI really did take their jobs. Exactly, because you could tell AI to make whatever kind of album cover art. And then you can cartoon yourself or do like filters and all kind of stuff now. Like if that's the case, like but they do be like spamming the hell out of people's inboxes and stuff, man. So, but we just on here chit chatting now at this point now. So models and weirdly doing a better job. So I don't want to keep you guys on a Friday. I'm trying to get out of here too. So let's do a quick Q&A. It's been dope. The moral of the story, boys and girls, is be intentional in your movement in 2024. Um, there's a whole lot of detail that comes with that. So we're going to be going over these details in coming weeks, over the next few episodes for sure. The theme is going to be intentional and ways that you can do this because it's level up season, man. It's level up season. There's too much information out here and too many opportunities for you guys to win, for you guys to not be winning. And there's also too many of you guys, especially in this community, that are willing to help each other, that are willing to network and collaborate and that kind of thing. So ain't no losing, man. It's wins every week. So let's do a quick Q&A. We're gonna get out of here. It sure did. Now it's taking models and really doing a better job. Exactly. I think it will eventually catch music, but I think we will be fine. Just know your talent and what you bring. Well, for now, that's the case. You know, I'll say in this generation, but the next generation, of kids coming up, the next generation of adults or whatever, AI might be handling music perfectly by then. This is like in another decade, another 10 years. So all the kids that are like, 4, 5, 6 years old now, like when they're in high school, 14, 15, 16, you know, AI is going to be something else, man. The majority of the devices that we use now, we're not going to be using. The peripherals are going to be totally different. It's going to be a different world. So just buckle up. Anybody know a Spanish speaking female singer? Um, I think Olivia King is bilingual. And then Cherry, you were doing collab with Christine. Christine is Hispanic, so she might know someone. They don't like that word Hispanic. She's Latina. So yeah, for all you guys know, like my girl is Mexican, so Mexican people don't like that word Hispanic. That's some old colonizer shit. So they don't like that. So use Latina, Latino when possible. And hit up Cherry if you guys anybody not know that any if you guys know anybody that speaks Spanish and sings, bilingual singer. Pedro says, "True, I saw a studio session of a new beat makers and it was bad. AI can do all that." Speaking of leveling up, Segura says, "I highly suggest checking out Current by Minimal Audio and Random by Beat Surfing 2. By Beat Surfing, two cents that are really forward thinking. Neither Riza or Christina know Spanish. Yeah, Riza's Filipino. We'll put the word out there. I'll hit Kim up. We'll put the word out there. We'll find you somebody. I moved out here from Arizona, so I know some folks. Q&A, y'all. Q&A. I'm just waiting to see if you guys got any questions real quick. Wait for it to pop up in case you typing. And yeah, I heard my phone going off and then ain't no Okay, so let's see. How to correct I mean. Okay, so that's what's up, y'all. So we had a good live session. Like I said, in summation, we're talking about being intentional in our movement. And there's a lot of stuff going on in sync right now. I feel like independent musicians are being attacked. We finally find ways in order to, you know, get our own exposure and monetize our music, and these bigs are coming in and finding ways to get pieces of that on the back end or whatever. So sync is the way, man. One song, one placement could change everything for you. So if you having those days where you feeling like giving up and you don't want to do it, don't give up and keep doing it. I mean, like, for real, because the fact is as an indie musician, producer, artist, composer, whatever, we don't got a lot of options, right? We don't got a lot of options. So sync is an option. Crazy what the future will bring. Absolutely. Thank you for hosting. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. Y'all are so dope, man. Y'all have a good weekend. Petro, I'll talk to you over the weekend and we'll chop it up. And that's what's up, man. I'll see y'all. Y'all have a good weekend. I am the producer whisperer, y'all. Peace.